Return to Zebes is a relatively short hack of Metroid Zero Mission, created by AlexMan25 that boasts an incredibly compact, dense world to explore. This hack lands somewhere between a remix of the vanilla game and a Super Metroid port, containing elements of both games as well as clear homages to the original Metroid on the NES and some completely original ideas. As far as the narrative goes, it seems to be something of a retelling of Super Metroid, taking place after the first two games in the series, although it seems that in this version of events, Mother Brain was never revived, and Ridley decided to take matters into his own hands this time. To that end, defeating Ridley is the ultimate goal of this hack, and due to the open-ended nature of the level design, you can actually accomplish that goal very, very quickly if you're talented or persistent enough. Sequence breaking isn't just easy in Return to Zebes. You'll likely do it without even intending to. There aren't really any measures taken to ensure that your first super missile or power bomb is the intended first one. So you might just stumble upon an upgrade tank that happens to be acquirable with some clever maneuvers. Even in my bumbling first playthrough, clocking in at just under 3.5 hours, I managed to collect the power bombs incredibly early. While the majority of the items in this hack are the usual Zero Mission fare, the charge beam has been replaced with the missile beam, which, as far as I can tell, is only graphical. It does attract pickups like in Prime though, which is very nice. Another important thing to note with Return to Zebes is that Samus's movement is quite a bit speedier than in the vanilla game. Her aerial movement is faster, the speed booster activates quicker, makes you run faster all the time, and in general you're going to be moving through this hack faster than normal. This may take some getting used to, but in the end I think it adds to the frenetic energy of the hack, making it feel more like you're blasting through the area with lightning fast reflexes, blowing away every enemy in sight. I don't ever think the movement is a detriment to the hack, as it's clearly designed around it, but there are some specific locations that seem created with the idea of frustrating the player first and foremost. These fast-moving conveyor belts in particular are very annoying, but I also picked the speed booster up very late in my run, which may have made them more reasonable. That said, the open-endedness of this hack can lead to some issues. As I said, my first run was over double the average time listed on Metroid Construction. And that was entirely because I would take wrong turns at intersections, then continue to sequence break in the wrong direction. There was one point when I missed the gravity suit by a single room, and it added like a full hour to my run. The world is very, very labyrinthine, and the map overlaps on itself in many places. Frustrating, but also at least partially my fault. What isn't my fault, however, is the unfortunate moments where your exploits get a little extra-dimensional. There are a few bugs in this one, some graphical, some mechanical, some the sort that get you stuck. There was a point that I lost about 15 to 20 minutes of progress that was pretty frustrating. Other than that, though, I never died once. While there are moments that are hectic and stressful in this hack, primarily where you're running through a dangerous area without proper equipment, or beset by Mario Maker numbers of enemies, none of them were enough to get a death out of me. That said, the final fights with Kraid and Ridley are massive difficulty spikes that have a really annoying Wario Land style fail state that forces you to go back into the boss room. Kraid is especially bad about this because he makes you run all the way back through the area, although once I found the right spot to stand with Ridley, I didn't have to move even once during the fight. Lastly, when it comes to presentation, this hack has a lot of nice areas to look at, and the way that sub-areas get names and intro cards is really nice. The music is pretty hit and miss, mostly being Super Metroid music, but those misses can get really crunchy, or downright bad. All that said, I'd recommend Return to Zebes. It's a quick, fun romp that'll take you about 2 or 3 hours to finish, probably less if you don't get horribly lost, and even less if you're actually good at the GBA Metroids. The way it presents a totally open challenge for you to find your way through is an interesting direction to take, and I'd like to play more hacks with similar ideas in the future. As for difficulty, I think I'll put it around here. Not anything too crazy, but if you're not prepared for the few difficult moments, they might get you. And getting lost can make an otherwise good time a chore. You can pick this baby up on MetroidConstruction.com, so drop on by to check it out. Thanks for watching. This has been Torvis. God bless.